So essentially, the prelude to this that the recording missed because reasons um, was essentially Kapkan went over to a friend's house, and his friend, he was in a dysfunctional family. There was divorce, and he hated his brother. And there was this little hole between their two rooms that connected their two rooms. It was about you could reach your hand through, but nothing really else. So he gives Kapkan a gas mask and says, "Here, you're gonna need this." Kapkan asks why, so eventually he shows him this bottle of tear gas that is filled with liquid ass, as he claims, and he says, "Well, I'm gonna throw it over there." And Kapkan asks, "Well, why?" And then he gives this explanation. And by the way, his friend's name is Dan, just for clearance.
Shit, my brother broke my Xbox.
That's a bit of war.
so so he tosses it in like it goes in, it's like and all you can hear is his brother's like playing Minecraft or some shit. And his brother was yelling, and all of a sudden his brother turned around and was like, "What the fuck is this?" And his brother was like, and he was like, "Just wait for it. He'll figure it out." And like he was like, "Oh god, oh god!" And then he ran to the door and he was like, "Dan, Dan, help me, help me!" And he's like banging the door and he couldn't get it open. He's like, "Oh god, oh god!" So then he ran to the windows and he opened the windows and he's like, and like the gas was filling his room. And then no, he tried to open his windows, but his windows were stuck shut. And Dan was like, "Oh yeah, he has finicky windows." And he was like trying to open the window. He's like, "Fuck, fuck, fuck!" And then the gas was like filling up his room. And then eventually he got the smart idea to throw the gas grenade back. But we were wearing gas masks, so he chucked the gas grenade back through the window, and then he landed on the floor. And then Dan was like, don't worry, grab it. So I picked it up and I threw it back through. And then he went, "For fuck's sake!" And then he's like choking. And eventually, like he just couldn't take it anymore. We heard a loud thud on the wood, and we were like, I was like, "Dude, I think your brother's fucking dead." And he was like, "Maybe." And then his brother was like, we could hear his brother like heavily breathing, and his brother tried to pick it up and like throw it back through the window. And Dan, the madman, he took a fucking Harry Potter book and put it in between the cracks so he couldn't get it through. And then he threw it at the wall and it bounced back at him. So he was like choking to death, and liquid ass is powerful.
I
Like,
know.
like
I know what it is.
like I could smell it through the gas mask. And like, so I'm just like tugging for air, and he like gets spare filters out, and he's like, "You're gonna need to switch this in 5 minutes." And so I'm switching the filter, and I take a small breath in, and I smell just a fraction of the gas, and it's awful. and and by this time we hear no noise from his brother's room. Just this is the thud on the wood of a body. And I was like, "Dude, your brother's dead, bro." And he was like, "No, no, no." And you know what the sickest part was? He went, "No, no, no, I've done this before." And I was like, so his dad's not even home. His dad's getting groceries or some shit, and his parents are divorced. So, so eventually, I'm like, "Dude, we got a rescue mission." So we took the barricade off the door, and I shit you not, we opened the door and we closed the blinds, and the whole room was like green, like I could barely see. There's actually like this thick smoke, and he was like, "Uh oh," and I was like, "What?" And he was like, "There must have been a little bit of tear gas left in there." And at this point, I'm like, "What the fuck did you do, you dumbass?" So, all I see is the doors open the window is open like a crack, and there are just handprints on the window. Someone desperately struggling up, and I'm like, we're looking around for his brother. We can't see him, and I step on something fleshy, and I'm like, "I just stepped on your brother." His brother was like lying on the ground. His brother could barely breathe. He's like, "Damn, you asshole." So then his brother gets up and pounces on his brother. And his brother's like, what are you doing? What Dan's like, what are you doing? Dan's trying to fight him off, and this bastard grabs his gas mask and tears it off of his face. Dan's like, what have you done? Dan's like, Dan's like, run, barricade the door. So I'm not trying to get my gas mask ripped off, so I yeet the fuck out of there, and I close the door and I barricade it. And I hear, and Dan, this is gonna sound like a coincidence, but it's not. Dan is a champion wrestler. I shit you not, like actually like a state champion wrestler. So I hear him, but his brother has a leg up on him. His brother's fat and he's not. So. So I hear the war of titans going on there. The battle of the gods. 2 men, 1 gas mask in a room full of shit. So they're rolling around and
doing the face in the background.
It's like Thanos versus fucking Jesus.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Like Thanos versus Jesus in the Bible too. I take the Harry Potter book off the slit and I'm peering through like, oh, this is gonna be fucking good. And then they're actually like rolling around on the floor trying to fucking fuck each other up. Like they're fighting. The gas mask is like rolling on the floor. They're each like one will grab it and the other one will deck them because they're both trying to fight for the gas mask and they're taking giant gulps of air and breathing liquid acid. And they're fucking like rolling around, looking at them and they're like fighting. They're fighting, and like Dan's brother slams his head into the wall. Dan's like, "You bitch!" and he grabs him like Batista bombs him. So at this point, I'm like, "Oh, someone's gonna die." And then like Dan like actually so extra. Like he like climbs up on the ladder of his brother's bunk bed and fucking what he suplexed him, just like suplexed the shit out of him. His brother's lying on the ground. His brother like actually like all the air from his lungs gets pushed out, which means he has to inhale the shit. And he's like, and this sends Dan's fat ass brother into a rage mode. And Dan's brother accumulates retard strength and grabs his brother and slams him into the wall, and books and shit are falling off of the shelf. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here just like watching this all happen. So Dan gets slammed against the wall, and he reaches onto the shelf, and I shit you not, he grabs a lava lamp and slams his brother. So he slams his brother. His brother's like, "Fuck you!" and he throws him across the room. Just throws him, and he smacks him to the wall. And he's like, "That was my PC monitor, you bitch!" and Dan grabs like the mug of whatever he was fucking drinking and throws the mug at him. And he fucking knocks him. He hits him in the head, and he falls over. I was like, I thought he knocked his ass cold. So Dan quickly scrambles and grabs the gas mask and throws it on, starts fucking huffing that shit like it was cocaine. And then he walks over to his brother to see if his brother's dead. He's like checking his brother, and his brother fucking sweeps his legs out from under him and knocks him on the ground. And Dan's like, "What?" And then his brother jumps on top of him with his fat and just crushes him, rips the mask off of him. And his brother's like, yes. His brother gets the mask, and then Dan ain't having any of it. Dan fucking like throws him into the cabinet, knocks him down, and then he like punches the shit, like actually punches him in the face and rips the mask off and puts it on. And then his brother's like, and then now his brother's like fucked. His brother's like punched. He's breathing in the ass and everything. So Dan's like, "Quick, unbarricade the door!" And his brother's running towards the door, and he's running towards the door. And I open the door. Dan runs out and he slams the door on his brother. And his brother's trapped again. So his brother runs and he opens the window and he jumps out the fucking window.
What was it, like 2 stories?
There's 2 stories. He jumps out the fucking window. And he's like, "I'm gonna tell Dad, and Dad's gonna fucking kill you." And I was like, and Dan was like, "I hope you do, you little shit." And I was like, "What the fuck?" And Dan was like, "Quick, grab the gas canister." And I was like, "What are you gonna do?" And he was like, We're gonna put it in this container and we're gonna put it under his bed." So So now his brother starts playing. His brother's like fumigating the room, like windows open, just fucking fanning that shit out. And Dan's like, the gas can is in the container. We just have to open it and bang it against the ground so the rest can come out. And I'm like, damn, we've done too much damage. We gotta tap out, man. This is too much. And Dan was like, no, it's not over. So Dan so Dan lets the gas go, and we lock his brother in there again. And his brother looks at the can and goes, you know what? I don't give a shit anymore. And he starts playing fucking Roblox with the gas filling up the room. He's like eating the fucking Doritos out of his bag. The gas just seeps. I was like, damn, what I just witnessed was the most wild event ever.